KDK Audioblog.
I'm off from work today, yay! And outside you can hear the little foreign children running around and cavorting and yelling. It's a pleasant sound, I'm not complaining. And I'm sitting here at my computer and I'm trying to do some work on the site and get some stuff done. And one by one the cats keep coming up to me and they're looking at me and they're crying. And I'm looking and they have food and they have water and I don't know what they're crying about. And I figure it out. The cats are bored and they're looking to me for attention. They're not playing with each other. They're just looking for me to entertain them or something, I guess. So I go to the stove and I pull out the roasting tray. You know, that tray that's on like the bottom of a stove where you're supposed to cook like a pot roast and shit. The broiler, that's what it is. I pull out that tray because under there, that's where the cats all stuff their toys. And each one of our cats has their own favorite type of toy that they like to play with. So I know, where do I go if I want to find toys for the cats? I go look under the stove. So I'm looking under the stove, and I find a couple of those little rings around that, you know, when you buy milk, that little plastic ring that seals the cap. Mouse loves to play with those. And anything that can skid across the floor, like the little plastic dome that goes over the bolts on your toilet, that's one of Julian's favorite toys, so I gave that to him. And Sebastian, he's normal. He just likes little puff balls and feathery mice, so I gave him a couple of feathery mice from under the stove. And they all went off and played with their toys, and everybody's happy. And I'm free from cat meowing to be able to record an audio blog for you guys and tell you about it. And I'm going to keep the blog brief today because I had a request from Mr. Flatulence to post my appearance from last week's Fox News on the website, and I couldn't figure out like an appropriate place to put it. So I said I'm going to put it in the next blog. So I'm going to put it in the next blog, and well, here it is. So if you heard it before, you know, you can just tune out now. But if you want to hear it, this is me calling into Fox News, which is a show on wildbunchradio.com, and making their hosts look like complete blithering idiots, even though I'm quite the idiot myself.
Since you're on the topic, there's one. I know what you're going to do. You're going to pick out opinions from the movie and claim that they're not facts when it's really presented as an opinion, because that's what everybody does. Or you're going to make inferences about what he's trying to say and then say that he's wrong, because that's what everybody does. I know where this is going. But what I want to hear is, how do you defend the 7 minutes of My Little Goat?
How he did what?
How do you defend the 7 minutes of My Little Goat?
The 7 minutes of my...
George Bush is an idiot, as demonstrated millions of times in the public eye, on camera, on tape, all over the internet, and during the 7 minutes of My Little Goat.
Oh, but we'll call you right back. Okay. Hello?
Hello?
Alright, we'll just stay on the line with you.
What's going on over there?
I don't know. We're gonna answer somebody else, but we decided to answer you.
Oh, okay. So you didn't hear anything I said because somebody else was ringing in, right?
No, we heard it.
Okay. It's really distracting when you have the music so loud behind you, too.
Yeah, we stopped the music.
Oh, okay.
So you're saying that Bush is...
So you're saying, yes, you don't like Bush.
I don't think he's a bad person, but I think he's a bad representative of the American people. I think he makes us to other countries look like retards and idiots and ill-educated morons like him.
So you think Bush is a moron?
Yes, I think he's a disgrace to the presidency and the American people, and for that reason alone, I would like to see him out of office.
Why?
Well, I just told you, because he's a retard. How many times have you seen him in the press make some stupid quote, or use a word in the wrong context, not knowing what it means, or just be completely befuddled, as during the 7 minutes of My Little Goat?
You don't think he did anything great bringing us to...
Name one great thing he's done. Go to war. If you're a Republican, that's a great thing, because you can profiteer off it.
Mm-hmm. But isn't war was necessary? You agree with that, right?
Absolutely not. Why are we in Iraq when all the terrorists come from Saudi Arabia? There's another good point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, give me an answer.
You don't think what they did,
You're not very good defenders of Bush.
but what they did on our soil doesn't the starting point
Okay.
for a war.
If a bunch of people from Saudi Arabia hijack planes and fly them into buildings, why am I going to go pick a fight with Iraq? Why not go to Saudi Arabia and say, look, you're going to clean up these terrorists, or we're going to go in and do it for you? That's exactly what should have happened. But what did we do? We went to Iraq going after Saddam because of old grudges or something. I don't know.
Well, they got Saddam out of there. It's just a matter of...
We knew he had no weapons of mass destruction, and if you remember, right before we went in, the government line, the corporate line was changing, where we weren't going in to get the terrorists and to stop the weapons of mass destruction from being used against us. All of a sudden it became, we're fighting for the freedom of Iraqi women and the oppressed Iraqi people.
Okay, there's several things, I'm not going to say that because it's certainly true that President Bush said initially that we're going in to find the nukes or weapons of mass destruction.
Yes, and then after the UN was going through and they weren't finding anything, they were beginning to see that line wasn't going to work. So,
how much knowledge do you have of the first Desert Storm?
Not much.
Not much? Are you aware that Saddam Hussein himself killed hundreds of thousands of people, tested chemical and biological weapons on his own people, including the Kurds? Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Yes.
I have no problem with them killing each other. No problem at all. I say give them more weapons and let them use it against each other.
Now, can we both agree on the fact that maybe they were given plenty of time to hide weapons in their desert, or perhaps give it away to one of their Arabic friends, their nation friends? Can you both agree on that?
Well, remember, nothing has been found. Even to this day, nothing has been found.
Not necessarily. They found...
I'm quite surprised that our government hasn't planted something.
Look, they haven't found anything with the capability of reaching here, but you also have to keep in mind that a lot of it has been transported as it, or hidden in there. Heck, for all we know, a lot of it can be here, and they might be planning a dirty bomb. Do you know what's a dirty bomb?
Yeah. You're missing the point. The government used 9/11 as an excuse to go to war.
No.
Yes, absolutely.
Look, if you go and you look, you read, more. Hold on a second.
If you look throughout history, Republicans always like to go to war because they feel it stimulates the economy. Only this time, it usually does stimulate the economy, but this time it hasn't.
Didn't Bush already go in with the bad economy, though?
No, not really. Our economy was doing pretty goddamn good. Clinton had almost completely eliminated the deficit. Actually, I think he had. I think we were in a surplus.
You know, Clinton had Bin Laden right there handed to him, and he didn't accept it, which would have been, all this probably wouldn't have happened at all. 9/11.
I have no idea what you're talking about, and I'd like to hear your sources.
Okay, hold on 1 second. We're hooking up the phone here. We're almost out of battery. Hold on. Okay, hold on, KDK, 1 more second, please.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now, here's the point that Diana is trying to make. Bill Clinton, during his presidency, he said a lot of his priorities were not right. Meaning, one of his biggest priorities was escape from the military. That was one of them. There were plenty of others. The mistake that Bill Clinton did was a lot of his priorities were not set up right. Terrorism was not...
Is it also true that when he left office, the incoming administration was briefed about the threat, and they chose to ignore it?
That's right. But he was...
Basically, everybody listening, no matter how you feel about the war, what it comes down to is Bush is a moron. He's an idiot. He's a puppet. He's a tool. He needs to... He's a disgrace to the country. You ought to be ashamed. You shouldn't be on his side. You should be ashamed. He's an idiot. You need to pay attention to his speech.
Let me tell you how much respect President Bush and Ronald
Reagan, another friggin' idiot.
Wow.
Let me tell you how much respect they have for this country versus Kerry and.
I don't care who respects the country. I care who is going to represent the country, because the president has little real power anyway. The president is more a figurehead than a representative of the American people.
Ronald Reagan. Do you know that he refused? He never stepped into the Oval Office without a shirt and tie.
What the hell do I care about that?
Are you aware of that fact?
If I were president, I would be in there in my underwear jerking off in the chair.
Yeah, that's exactly what Clinton did, and Clinton got a nice blowjob in there too.
Well, good for him. That's why, if he could have run again, he would have won again.
What kind of respect is that? What kind of respect is that?
I don't give a shit. I don't care about morality. As long as he's not murdering people, I don't care.
Instead of getting blowjobs in the office, what he should have done...
Hey, I would do it too. You would do it too if you're not gay.
He should have been... What he should have been doing, instead of... what he did... That's fine. That's his business.
That takes 10 minutes.
Right? But the biggest thing about Clinton that he did wrong was he didn't put his priorities up front, and terrorism was not...
Well, he couldn't, because remember, he was also being attacked constantly from the Republican Party, trying to pick him apart about Whitewater and his whole adultery. He couldn't get anything accomplished because everybody was trying to... There was spending too much time and effort trying to impeach him.
That was 1996. Let's take a look at 1993, the first World Trade Center bombing. Where was he there? 1998, the African embassy bombing.
Why are we talking about Clinton?
Why are we talking about Clinton? You're talking about Bush.
Well, I'm talking about Bush because he's relevant. Clinton is, he's writing books now. He's not president anymore. He will be remembered as one of our greatest American presidents 100 years from now. I'll mark you that.
One of the least respected presidents, I'd say.
Well, in your mind, because you're hung up on this whole religious bullshit that the Republican Party is killing itself with, because people don't want to hear it. People don't want to hear religious propaganda and rhetoric when it comes to politics. We don't want to mix politics and religion. Our forefathers knew that, and we know that.